Good morning! I'm live on the beach in Huntington Beach, California, and this is your Namaste Today. Good morning and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today, the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am the Sensei to Sirius joy, here to stand in my heart each day and walk in the light. Such a pleasure to light walk with you today. I am lovecasting live in 5 dimensions from the beautiful beaches of Huntington Beach, California on Thursday, June 11th, 2015. And today, things get roaring just like this ocean because step 20 rules the day. Now, I hope this video turns out. I'm doing my best here. We're kind of exploring it. It is Mercury retrograde. But I wanted to be on the ocean today because this is how it might start to feel for the next 10 days. The roar of the ocean. Step 20 is when our emotions become passionate. And passion is what we came here for, folks, even though we are sometimes scared of it, even though we're not prepared for it, even though it can be passionate in a negative way. I think we all came here to have some passion going on. So you got to admit, we do want the passion. It's just, is the water cold? You know what I mean? Will we enjoy it? These are the things that we question. And that is where the 0 in step 20 is important. Let's look at the architecture of incarnation. The key states of awareness today are step 2 and step 0. So this is I feel and 0 I protect. And that's really it. You have to put your protection around your feelings today. That's the secret to handling the passion. But now that we're in the 20, step 20 and on, it will be passionate because every day begins with this step 2, I feel. So one of the good things to do before you leave the house always is to make sure you feel good, or at least you know how you feel, so you know what you're dealing with when you're walking out the door. The reason and how passion works is our feelings bounce off of other people's feelings, and that's when things start to get a little crazy. So today we kind of feel exposed. With that 0 I protect, if you don't take the time and space, the 0, to protect your feelings, which means maybe a little extra 5 minutes, maybe you go to Starbucks and you go ahead and be late to work, whatever it takes to protect those feelings today, if you don't, you could feel vulnerable. If you don't, the passion could go awry. Now, you might be wondering, what's the ruling state of awareness if there's a 0 there? Well, you still do the simple addition. The ruling state is step 2. That's because 2 plus 0 makes 2. So, even though protection is there, emotions feel like they're the only state today, and that's how you might feel today, that it's the only thing going on. So that begs the question, where is our emotional state of awareness? Well, our emotions today continue in Aries, so they are self-centered and they are ego-based. So you got it right there, realize that what you're feeling today is very much ego-based. It's your ego kind of contributing to the conversation, and of course, this means that sometimes we can go too far and sometimes we can feel quite weak. You'll learn in the cosmic clock that it's not just an ego-based emotion, but that the moon will cross over Uranus, which means we'll have to do some sort of a respond differently to our feelings. But before we do, I think it's important to know that they're vulnerable, they're ego-based, and they need protection. But before we dive into the architecture of protecting your passion, let's first start by taming our brain, shall we, with the phrase of the day. Today I feel my passion, and I trust my heart's intentions. Today I feel my passion. So don't leave the house unless you feel your passion, all right? It can be passion for licorice. It can be passion for the ocean. It can be passion for a song. But you want to feel it. You don't want it to surprise you today, right? So that's where we're mindful of it. I feel my passion, and I trust my heart's intentions. That's ultimately what we want to protect and trust, what our heart wants out of the situation. I trust what my heart wants. I trust where my feelings might go because I trust my heart's intentions. I'm in it for heartfelt reasons, therefore passion cannot be a problem. So today in step 20, as I protect as part of it, I think part of protecting our feelings is giving them direction, giving them guidance of where we want to go. And today that guidance is trusting our heart, where it leads our passion, where it directs our passion. So one more time, friend, to keep it in the mind. Today I feel my passion, and I trust my heart's intention, and so it is, because I said so, I thought so. Now today with the chakras, it's actually quite simple, but yet profound. We look at the yellow, and we stay in the yellow. I feel is step 2, that is yellow. And that is, of course, the I think. We're in Gemini, and we're moving into the next decan of Gemini. I'll talk about that in the cosmic clock. But all this energy now is solar plexus. So this is a time where people really need to listen to their gut. They also need to make sure you're taking good care of yourself, sleeping, eating, and whatnot. Now, if you don't know, iProtect has 2 portals into our chakra system. One is behind the I manifest, and that is, of course, step 10. So behind the orange, there is an iProtect. This is the iProtect that pretty much decides whether or not someone can, see us naked, I think. How we go that far. The other iProtect is behind the throat chakra. So sometimes people get caught up in the throat, and that is that they have protection issues around what they're going to say. It's not what you're going to say, it's that it's not protected, it's not been worked out. So today we're actually working mostly in the yellow, but realize you ground in 2 places. One by protecting your thoughts in your upper hemisphere, and second by protecting your body and your survival. All right, so now let's get a little deeper here on this fantastic ocean with today's cosmic clock. And here we are with the cosmic clock. Well, the sun has progressed to step 20 today. Step 20 is I feel and I protect. That turns into I trust after you protect. And you must trust your feelings to go forward from this step. 21 is when it starts to be fun, and that will, of course, be tomorrow. Now, today with the sun at step 20, it means we're now entering the last act of the sun in Gemini. And we are now looking at the attitude. So the 3rd decan is really the attitude of Gemini. The first is our thinking, the second is the proficiency of our thinking, and the 3rd decan is attitude. What is the tone and what is the attitude? And as you can see from step 20 onward, since our emotions are a part of every 3rd act of every sign, indeed here with Gemini, the attitude is very much determined by how you feel. Super important. Now, Mercury, which is the ruler of all this fun, is still at step 4 for 24 more hours. Mercury goes direct in the next 24. It has dead stopped at step 4. This means our mind is trying to figure out where it belongs, and it might take the passion of today and tomorrow for you to get that final hint, because it belongs somewhere that goes along with your feelings and whatnot. Now, Mars is turning up the volume. Mars is at step 21, Gemini. And that means that our ego is pushing now to open new doors. And I haven't talked about it, but now is when things get a little crazy. The sun is working directly with Mars. They have been hanging out and dating for the last 5 days now, and they're still hanging out. That means our aggression energy is very high. That's to get out, I think, a lot of passion. That's to get out and people to speak up about things that they've been biting their tongue on. It also makes people have huge anxiety if they're not grounded, which, by the way, an ocean will ground you. One of the reasons why I'm here today, abusing my power so that I can be near the ocean. But the point is with the sun conjuncting Mars and Mars at 21, we're ready to take off like a rocket ship, and that needs to be focused. And really, the energy is not there to make you crazy. It's not there for you to fight. It's there for you to get your mind out of the old rut and get moving on to the new attitude. So realize we're all feeling it today with Mars. Now Venus, Her Majesty, is up in Leo. She's now at step 5. That means she is now receiving thoughts, step 5, about love. So you are ready to receive thoughts about love. Now, that also means everyone else in the earth is ready to receive thoughts about love. So this would be a great day to tell someone that you love them. They'll actually hear it when Venus is at step 5 in Leo. So just so you know, I love you. Okay, so if you haven't heard it, now you heard it now, loud on the beach. But with Venus in Leo, this is the theme all the way through September, like I said. We're going to look very deep on how we take in love, how we receive love, whether or not we receive love, and everyone is turning up the volume of love as we move through the summer. Now, the moon today is part of the aggression. The moon is in Aries and will cross over Uranus. This is a call to respond differently. In the zodiac weather, I'll tell you each where you need to respond differently. But in essence, the way you used to respond is not appropriate to no matter what happens today, okay? So respond differently. I know because of the planets, we're going into something entirely new. There's no way you emotionally prepared for this moment because you've never been as bright and as expanded. So today, if you get really emotional about your dog, your friend, your family, your lover, respond to the situation emotionally differently than you normally would. And Uranus will actually cause one to if they don't. There will be some breakdowns for people emotionally that don't pay attention. Now Uranus is at step 19, which means as you respond differently, God slaps you on the back and this sticks, okay? So choose the right response. If you're a person that normally does not kill your husband, this would not be the time to respond differently by killing. I'm just saying. But you want to respond differently in a higher and greater way, because when you do, you're going to find that it sticks, that this is the solution that you were looking for. Now, we do have some fears going on that we've been working on, all of us. One of the fears that's really hitting us is Uranus squaring Pluto. This has been going on forever, the Uranus-Pluto square. But today, because the moon crosses Uranus, we feel this square. What this is the part of you inside that might say, can I do that? Can I get away with that? Can I just go to the beach and shoot my show? The answer is yes, says Pluto retrograde at step 14 in Capricorn. You can. If you don't belong working in a stuffy office, then yes, you may. So you may find that when you try to respond differently, when you try to just walk away from the fight, when you try to do something differently emotionally than you normally do, part of you might pull back and go, hey, that's not the rules. And the smartass in you goes, no, I'm changing the rules, and go ahead and change it. Now, another square very worth mentioning is the Neptune square. Neptune is squaring Mercury at step 4, and Neptune is also squaring Saturn today at step 0, Sagittarius. What this means is the back and forth of our mind as to what's right or what's not right, what's our belief or not our belief, this kind of back and forth rhetoric in our mind, the Neptune square says it very simply. You have to very deliberately reach into your compassion and make sure that yourself gets along. So the square is that you may have fears to turning to compassion, you may have fears to turning to spirit, you may have fears to turning to God. But if you find your mind is just uncontrollable, it is the compassion, it is the Neptune square that I think is actually holding you back. So be compassionate, just let it go. The magic words are, it's okay, I don't care, right? All right, so before we go, I want to move on to our fun Today's Telepathy. From my temple to yours, I'm beaming one of these famous Geminis to you, and today I'm going to be doing actually political Geminis. We did this once before, but I think it's kind of interesting to see which Geminis get into politics. Which one of these Geminis am I thinking about? Is it number 1, Marco Rubio, number 2, Rudolph Giuliani, or am I thinking of number 3, Newt Gingrich? Which one of those Gemini politicians do I have on the brain? I'll have the answer right after this. Why can't you find love? How long have you really been single? Really? Having trouble finding that special soulmate? I can solve this one. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Your love trouble? Over. All that and more at secretsofbirthdays.com. And welcome back to Namaste Today. So for the answer to today's telepathy, from my temple to yours, I'm beaming one of these Gemini politicians to you. Did I think of number 1, Marco Rubio, number 2, Rudolph Giuliani, or number 3, Newt Gingrich? And the answer is Newt Gingrich. And why Newt? Because he's weird and he's named Newt. I wanted to look him up and see what his deal was. Turns out he's a step 25 Gemini, which means he's actually very spiritually and intuitively driven. He was basically running his mouth from higher spirit. Another interesting thing about this is, as I'm doing all my research here, almost all these Geminis are Republicans. The only Gemini Democrat that I found so far is JFK, and of course he got killed, so not so good. But interesting stuff. Hey, just listen to the words I say and see if one of them buzz. Every day when you work on your telepathy, it will get sharper, you'll see. So moving on to today's rock and roll gospel. Today's rock and roll gospel is appropriate for the passion. This also kind of rocks back to my childhood, or when I was in junior high and high school. I am speaking to the artist formerly called and now called again, Prince. And Prince is a Gemini. In fact, he is a step 16 Gemini. And step 16 is kind of like Newt Gingrich. Step 16 is also adding to a 7. It has the ability to stream information. And I think Prince is clearly genius musically and whatnot. But it was so funny. I remember when I was growing up, like the girls just went gaga for this guy. And I usually get it with rock stars, but him I just didn't get. But then I listened to his music, and as a musician myself, I was like, oh, this guy really has something special going on. So today I thought it'd be fun because we're really on the precipice of a whole new era for us to play 1999. Right? That was a great song. Isn't it funny, though? Y2K made 1999 really not that much of a party. I think we're all waiting to see if the lights went out. It really wasn't worth all the hype of this song. But remember, we're going to party like it's 1999. To me, that's what you want to play, and that's what you want to do when you're on the precipice of some passion. Just get ready to have a good time. So keeping it simple, let's move on to today's Joy Quest. Today's Joy Quest, should you choose to accept it, will simply help you through the day. And my advice is, feel your way through it. That's right. I know we're in Gemini. I know you want to use logic. I know you want to use science. But honestly, the language of the soul is emotion. Emotion carries all information. So if you don't know what to do, feel your way through it. By listening to your feelings, you will pick up on your body. You will pick up on your intuition. You will pick up on your brother. Okay, you'll pick up on everything. And your feelings will tell you it's kind of this, but not so much that, but maybe this, Feelings have that dynamic. So if you're not concerned what to do, just feel your way through it. Feel each step. And if you want to know what feeling your way through it means, practically it means you do the thing that feels comfortable, that feels best, that doesn't feel awkward or wrong. All right? So today and through tomorrow, feel your way through it, my friend. But before you go off feeling your way through it, let's take a look at the moves of each of your brothers and sisters today and a special soul vitamin. And today I'm going to help you with the passion, my friend. I'm going to help you with the moon crossing Uranus. And basically, this is the spot where you want to respond differently. And in my advice, you want to up the ante. Not just respond differently, but up the ante. So today's Soul Vitamin is sponsored by the moon crossing Uranus and where you should up the ante in the 11 steps of Sirius Joy, starting with the secret step, the Scorpio Step Zeros. Scorpios, cloudy with a chance of bitchy today. Not beachy, bitchy. But it's time to up the ante in your daily life. That's work, that's health, that's the way you live, 9 to 5. Step 1, the Leos, cloudy and passionate today. It's time to up the ante for you with knowledge or education. So go pay for it and teach yourself. Step 2, the Cancers, cloudy chance of anger today as they're starting to release. But it's time to up the ante when it comes to career and the decisions you make for yourself in life. Step 3, the Sagittarius is sunny and joyful today, but it is now time, Sag, to up the ante when it comes to love and creative projects. It should be oh so fun, basically. Step 4, the Aquarians, sunny and chatty today, but it is now time to up the ante when it comes to your attitude and tolerance. And I have to say, for yours, up the ante probably means be happier, chill out a bit. Step 5, the Geminis, sunny and social today, but it's time to up the ante when it comes to social expectation. In other words, what you believe you can be out there in the world, Gemini. Happy birthday, by the way. Step 6, the Librans, sunny and sentimental today, but it's time to up the ante with who you partner with and who you marry. Step 7, the Pisces, sunny and manifesting today, but it's time to up the ante when it comes to what you get paid. Okay, so you are worth more. It's time to make more, Pisces. I know your head is caught in the 1800s, but we're not living in the 1800s. Step 8, the Capricorns, sunny with a chance of anxiety today if not well managed, because it's time to up the ante with how well you feel day to day. All right? Step 9, the Aries, sunny and cool with the moon in their sign, but it's time to up the ante with how you respond to yourself and everyone. Step 10, the Tauruses, cloudy, chance of storms today, but it is time to up the ante when it comes to keeping the faith. Gosh, I hate that one. but I'm having to deal with it, folks. And then finally, the Virgos, step 11s. Sunny with a chance of handy today for the Virgos, but it is now time to up the ante when it comes to trusting yourself and trusting the world. All right, my friends. Well, for those watched over by the Personal Sensei Network, I'll be helping you with where you have to up the ante. At 11:11 a.m., we'll talk about where you're upping the ante in your inner life. That's what's most important. And then at 3:03 p.m. your local time, I'll be talking about where to up the ante in your outer life. If you'd like to join the Personal Sensei service, it's just $19.95, and you'll have me sending you optimistic personal messages through the day. Find out more at SiriusJoy.me. And if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And on Facebook, you can be my friend at slowgarden.me. And don't forget, if you like a reading or Secrets of Birthdays or any of the services I offer that give you deeper understanding of yourself, come on down to soulmart.me. All right, friends, I sure hope this turned out okay. If this is too noisy for you, no worries. I'm not going to do this all the time, but I thought with the passion I'd show up. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow for your special Friday dance. Until then, live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.